Your source for all things Texas Tech. This is the Ask Level podcast from Double T 97.3.
Hey, what's going on? Welcome into another episode of the Ask Level podcast with Chris Level. I'm Chois Woodman. This podcast, as usual, brought to you by our friends at Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Level, we got one in the books. We finally arrived. Football season here, and a weird game because
you got rain delay, you got 8-minute quarters, you had Independence Day trying to roll up and take everybody up into the spaceship with them.
Yeah.
We had a one long tortilla throw, like that just kind of just kept going, and like, okay, at what point is it considered like the second, or do we warn these people when they're still throwing them up in the air from the from the kickoff? You had a horse that kind of was a bit questionable out of the gate, and like kind of did the whole anyway. Skittish, I think, is a horse term.
Yep.
It was the sideline reporter on the radio broadcast was a bit skittish and everything as well.
I thought he was excellent, but I mean, just my opinion.
Yeah, but we were all working through our blitz pickup from the running back position. Our pass protection was a bit questionable on one play in particular. Yeah,
that one.
But yeah, this just in, that was like a varsity team playing a JV team. Can we glean anything from it? Sure. Do you take it to the bank? I probably would not. But it's like the plate of broccoli, man. Just eat it. Just eat it and move on. And so we did. And now there's a plate of cauliflower sitting there for you this weekend.
I don't think these are good comparisons, because
although I think broccoli is actually better than cauliflower. So maybe cauliflower, in my personal opinion, they're both equally disgusting.
They're bad. They're bad.
So
no,
yeah.
I would put
maybe this week is a plate of vegetables. Eat your vegetables.
The mixed veggies. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think it's broccoli or cauliflower, because I take zero enjoyment from broccoli and cauliflower. I could at least enjoy some of that there.
I get it. Yeah. I get it.
I mean, just a little bit,
but it's just these. I guess what
sure.
The reason I'm drawing that is because this is a necessary evil.
It is,
in that you get zero credit for these games. It only can turn out bad. And that part sucks. It is fun. You show up, you cheer, you throw the tortillas. It's a night out. It's great entertainment. Tech does a phenomenal job with the pyro. We had a flyover. The sound system was working. Yep. It's the juice of the environment of being there, which there's just nothing like that. It's just, I'm talking about purely the football standpoint.
Yeah.
You are, because I have seen this. People are annoyed around the country by how much, like Utah is a prime example. They are getting a lot of benefit, and deserved or not, when you beat a Power 4 team the way that they beat them and hammered them, you get a lot of credit, and deservedly so. Is it an overreaction in that way? Sure, it could be. But this is what comes with that territory. When those games are played, you get a lot of freak out, but you get a ton of credit. And like your vegetable plate or your broccoli plate right now in these first couple weeks is just kind of let's just get through it, man. And speaking of, I hate to whisper this too, but Oregon State got taken to the woodshed by Cal this weekend.
They did
too. So
they did in Corvallis. Yeah, and get through it. But get through it healthy and level as I can. So you could probably guess that is a big chunk of our questions today is just health of your quarterback, health overall. We even had a question to ask if the official was okay, and I don't know that that's going to be a positive answer either. So you have Dingle that exits the game, and then you have Baron Morton that goes back to the locker room and never comes back. He comes out in street clothes at halftime. So I'll combine a bunch of these questions together and let you give us an injury update.
So yeah, let me just let me attack it this way. The official and Miguel Dingle on the injury report or availability report or whatever we is called, I personally would list them as out.
Okay.
I think I would personally, again, nothing official. I personally would probably list them as out for the season, both of them. That was an official that it was his first year in the Big 12. He was in Ireland this last week,
Oh,
um, or the first week of the season, and
sure.
so,
Week
but
zero.
he's yeah, he's not going to officiate anything the rest of the year, and which made me I did wonder aloud to myself, what do they do with like he gets hurt on the job? Do they still pay him for the rest of the season? Those guys get paid per game, depends on what games you work, because you have to earn the right to do bowl games and playoffs and all this stuff. Because that sucks. This wasn't fair. I mean, he just got
Oh
leg
yeah.
whipped and
They're
as
contract labor, so I'm pretty sure if they don't have Aflac or something along those lines, some workman's comp, then it's you're kind of out of luck. So I think all officials kind of do have that as because you know that there's hazard on the job. So
well,
hopefully,
yeah.
yeah,
I hope that he gets
yeah,
compensated
it stinks for
accordingly.
him for sure.
Yeah, because he was appreciative of the response.
Hmm.
He actually was shockingly in pretty good spirits with what had gone on there,
Yeah.
and I thought that the folks that were because the stadium was still pretty close to full. There was still what 2 minutes left in the first half there.
Hmm.
Um, it was getting a little blustery and the temperature was dropping a bit and all that. But yeah, there's a lot of people there, and when they carted him off, he was in good shape. Okay, Dingle, same thing. He was not in good spirits when he was taken off. He was in a lot of pain. I'm afraid, yeah, that may not be good. We have no official word yet, but that concerns me that you will need another option at outside linebacker, star,
Yeah.
and then there's the butterfly effect of kind of what all this looks like as you start moving some guys around or starting to rep certain guys at certain positions, all that kind of stuff. Okay.
So we'll get
And then
official word on Dingle, what I believe Wednesday of this week, or some word.
yes,
Yeah.
you'll get it Wednesday night.
Okay.
But he's not playing anytime soon.
Right.
So, and I hope that is not the case. Great kid. Here's his problem. He is so athletic and so fast and explosive. I think that very thing worked against him in this instance. When your
Mhm.
foot gets caught and you're being very athletic and explosive and all that, that is working
Yeah.
against you in this instance. So I hope that you get a short term diagnosis. Yeah, but I'm afraid that's not going to be the case. Okay, then with Morton, you also didn't finish the game. Worth monitoring.
Hmm.
Will Jados didn't finish, and Charles Esters did not finish. I think Jados was on the injury report last week, and then
Hmm.
before the game, he did play. I think he's actually scheduled to talk to the media early this week because he is somebody that actually played against Kent State last year.
Yeah.
So there's a kind of a tie. I'm going to take that as a thumbs up that he's
Good sign.
he's okay. With Esters, I don't know. So just file that one away there. And then with Barron, I think two things are accurate here. I think that you got really lucky because I think that this could have been a way worse, and it wasn't. But I think that his status this weekend is very much up in the air. That's what I would say to you.
Okay.
So we will see as it goes. I think that we're sitting here on a Monday afternoon, and I think that the heavy practice days are your Tuesday and Wednesday, and we'll just kind of see what this looks like because here's the what you're weighing out. Joey talked a lot about this. He needs to get in rhythm. He's got a new play caller. He's got new targets he's throwing to.
Sure.
He's got new terminology he's using. There's a new verbiage. There's new, preferences that the new coordinator has. I mean, all these things. He's thrown it all of 18 times and handed off a handful of others. And so he's played a little over a quarter of ball under this. There's that. Then there's the man, we got a long way to go. Do we really risk it? What if he's at 80% and he's overcompensating with some soreness and he's not moving correctly and he injures something else or he
Yeah.
can't protect himself. I mean, and plus you're a 48-point favorite. So there's that.
There is
So
that.
you must weigh all of these things out and then determine the best course of action. So because I do think that the being in rhythm and the timing and because you've got a heavyweight fight coming up in like 2.5 weeks. And if we don't realize that that's going to be a heavyweight fight now, it's going to continue to build because that's going to be
Sure.
you're going to find out because somebody's going to get knocked down in that game on the 20th of September. It's not a KO because you're going to have time to like, but boy, you're going to be wobbly after that one, whoever loses it, and so there's not just a whole lot of time left all of a sudden now to kind of get yourself in a good spot for that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Finishing up with the injury stuff, Mason asked on Twitter, Level, if you put a percentage on Barron playing this week, what would it be? You're just going with the numbers.
Okay, well here's where I'm going to do this, and then I'll give you a number, but here's how I'm going to attack this to you. We have these availability reports and these NFL style
Mhm.
injury lists, right? These designations.
Yeah.
So I bet when Wednesday night gets here, I bet I bet it's one of three things: probable, questionable, or doubtful. And I bet he lands on questionable.
Okay.
So it's not a thumbs up, it's not a thumbs down, it's a I don't know.
Right in
So
between. Yeah.
50-50? I mean, like, is that, I
That
mean,
was as cop out as possible, but I
well,
also
but
get
that's
it. No, I
that's the
get it. Like,
truth.
because it will be, I think it will be questionable. I would be
Yeah.
surprised if it was
I
on
mean,
either of the other two sides. So,
I think 1,000% chance that he's listed as questionable.
yeah. Yeah.
And again, questionable is better than doubtful,
It's true.
right? Because I think
It's
the
true.
majority of the people listed as questionable last week played. Teron Grant did not,
Hmm.
but I think questionable is actually optimistic. And so,
Yeah.
bottom line is that you did this could have been so much worse. We could have been having a much different conversation here. I just we don't ultimately know how he's going to feel, what that's going to look like. Because I will remind you too, there were a season ago, not this past year, but the year before that, he was not practicing for a lot of these weeks and then still playing.
Yeah.
But your wheels are a bit different than your shoulder too. So I don't know. It just depends on how he feels, and we ultimately are not going to know that. So we'll just kind of see. You will actually be sitting next to me on Thursday night,
Hmm.
uh, because people have heard from Joey for the last time this week until Thursday night,
True.
and I'll also have Coach Leftwich with us on the show Thursday night, and maybe we get an indication there. And if memory serves, Mason, who I think asked this question, he
He
was
did.
at the show last Thursday,
Maybe he can.
and maybe he'll be there next Thursday. So he'll get, maybe we can get an updated percentage there, and by that time
He can write it down.
we'll know what the availability is listed as by that time. So
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Before we dive into a whole lot of questions, anything we did learn in your mind, anything we learned that you can take away from this football game, concrete or not?
I learned that UAPB's offensive tackles never stood a chance. that
Yes, yes.
that's what I learned. I'm like, this isn't fair.
Yeah.
But
You
this
said
is
varsity versus JV. I'm not sure it wasn't varsity versus eighth grade when it comes to offensive versus
yeah,
defensive
yeah.
line there. Yeah.
And I was talking to our man John Harris. He says to me, and I think he was like legitimately asking the question, like, man, that's kind of weird. And after I gave him a retort, he was like, you know what, you're right. But he said, um, he's like, I looked at the stats and the running backs, not one of them caught a pass. I said, Harris, is because everybody else was open. Like that's the outlet. Like you
Yeah,
don't, you don't. He's like, that's probably right. Yeah,
that's
you
true.
don't. There was no needing to, like, oh, everybody's covered, so here you go. I'm gonna dump it off. No, you didn't need to do that. It's like you're just firing away to 14 different
Yeah,
targets
yeah.
and all those things. Yeah, I mean, you can learn some things, you can have some opinions, just don't take them too seriously. I wouldn't. That's not money that's ready to be deposited in the bank just yet. I think you're gonna hold on to that, save it a little bit, get yourself some body of work. I even think we have to be very careful about what happens over the next 2 weeks as well. While we may be able to glean some consistency or maybe some problems or some, because like I don't like that you miss an extra point. I mean that's the kind of stuff that can get you beat,
It is.
even though it's the end of a game. I don't know if we have any clarification on the kicking competition. I mean, all three got in. I think I know who the kickoff guy is. I don't know who. It's 20-17 with 3:43 to go in Salt Lake City, and you're 38 yards out. I mean, I don't know who's going out there just yet. I don't. Um, and I don't. I think that's a tricky spot to like take a chance too. You have to go with the sure thing. Who's that? Who's the sure thing? I'm not real sure. So I don't know if we just learned a ton. I mean, I think you there were some things you already knew that you were. It was your
Yeah.
defensive ends are big and fast. You've got a much better defense. You've got some depth on this team, so when the starters come out, it can still stay at a high level. Um, I think you knew that short yardage and running back was going to be a. Did you like watching Adam Hill play? I would say to those folks out there, did you like watching
Sure.
Scattaboo, Mike Allstott reincarnated? I don't know. But I don't know. Did you feel like you have any big picture takeaways that you can put in Sharpie?
And Sharpie, no, no. I mean,
Yeah, I think
and that's
that's
the thing. Like we said it before the game level. This game was not about Arkansas Pine Bluff. It wasn't about even necessarily the result of the game. This was about fans and the public getting a chance to get their first look at all the new guys, get their first look at Jacob Rodriguez and Baron Morton in their senior year. It was about and get their first look at a couple of new coordinators too, and new offense and defense. So
I'll
I
tell
mean,
you what I'll tell you what I did like. One of the things, because special teams, it was a mixed bag.
mhm,
I thought blocked punt phenomenal. Michael Harrison, pilot MHP, really really great
mhm.
one-on-one play that he makes, and those are game-changing plays. You tried a 2-point conversion, which after I thought about it, I'm like, why did I ask Coach McGuire about this after the game? I was just trying to think about some of the, if you wanted to nitpick, and for some reason that was like top of the mind awareness. It was a really bad question on my part to like throw that in there. Point was, there was a few things if you wanted to nitpick about, but they're trying to put that on film,
Yeah.
and like let everybody see it. You had some penalties on some of the returns, and we documented this on the broadcast, which I loved. This was one of my favorite moments of the night when Kenny Perry put a headset through the ground that
Spiked it.
I don't know. I think they're gonna have to order a new one. I'll just say that. But you're up 60-7 at that point or whatever it is, and that's what it takes. The standard is the standard. This is, he's not willing to bend, and I appreciated that fire because Do you remember there was a couple years ago whenever Alabama was playing, this was a national championship game choice, and Alabama was playing, it's when AJ, oh, was the quarterback, and what was his name? And the center was like Barrett Jones, and there's AJ, he had the really good looking girlfriend that Brett Musburger was
McCarron,
like.
AJ
AJ
McCarron.
McCarron, yes, okay. So it's one of those years, and who were they playing in the championship game? Uh, anyway,
They
maybe it was Clemson. I can't remember. Maybe it was Clemson.
okay.
But they're up like 42 to 14, and it's like 4 minutes left in the game, and the game is over. They're gonna win the whole thing. The confetti's about to drop, and you can go find this video out there.
Oh yeah,
But it's something that, do you know what I'm talking about?
where you see Nick Saban continuing to chew and
Well,
coach harder.
and McCarron and Barrett Jones like jumping on each other,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I like
I do remember.
so the scenario was, yeah, you're up like 42 to 14, and they can't get the snap count right, and I don't remember whether there was a penalty or they had to call timeout. Anyways, and you've got this stud all-American type quarterback and this stud draft pick type center,
Yeah.
and they're barking at each other, and like and Saban is about to spike his headset and he's losing it over there, and that is gold. I mean, that is pure freaking gold because they were not gonna bend. It was no till the end. It's not zero on the clock, and I'm not saying that's what Kenny Perry did 60 to 7 up against UAPB, but that's what it reminded me of, and I loved it because that's what it's going to take, people. You want to get to where you want to go, and you got to keep the foot on the gas all the way throughout the season. But that I did think about that little doozy of a story.
Notre Dame, by the way,
Okay, Notre Dame. Sorry,
the
my
final
bad.
Manti Te'o year.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
Thank you for
and
helping me there. And sorry on
I had
on
to I
my
had to look it up. It was
yeah.
I couldn't
But
remember.
I love that clip. I mean, that
Yeah.
clip is everything to me. Yeah.
So level while Texas Tech was waiting around on a weather delay, a long weather delay on Saturday night, they were
Oh
also
yeah.
recruiting, and that's some big news that came out this week. Cooper Hackett, five-star offensive lineman in the 27 class, committed to Texas Tech, and so tell us about what you can about Cooper Hackett.
Yeah, and I'm actually going to update you a little bit too. So
Oh,
depending on
okay,
when you pop this thing out there, yeah, the listeners would there's something else that I want to make sure that I get my facts right here, when we're talking about Cooper Hackett, because another butterfly effect here that may be good for the Red Raiders.
okay.
So give me let's see here. Sorry,
So
I'm like wasting
no,
time. Okay,
you're fine.
okay, yeah. So Cooper Hackett. He has long since been rumored to commit, even back a month to 6 weeks ago. And whenever Felix Ojo did pull the trigger and committed, I think it was so well publicized that Cooper Hackett was just going to be the next day or the day after, and then I think Oklahoma really dug in there, and I think the Hackett machine kind of was like, man, we're just, I don't know where this is all coming from, but yeah, we're still kind of trying to figure things out. Blah blah blah. Texas Tech has always been in a great spot. Well, I think they've maintained their place in his recruitment all along. This was always going to be Tech or Oklahoma. But the oddest thing was Saturday night, and he's on an official visit. I think it was an official. It may have been unofficial. It doesn't matter. But he's at Arkansas,
Mhm.
and that's when he pulls the trigger on a late Saturday night. And like, so I've been doing this for since 2002, covering recruiting, covering the Texas Tech and all the things with rivals, and now it's with On Three. And like, sometimes you can plan for these announcements. Sometimes like an announcement like this gets more shelf life. This was like, what?
Mhm.
Like, this was the most weirdly timed thing ever, but it was literally Blanche and I think that group using their time wisely in the locker room during halftime. And I think that you know, yeah. So maybe it was just like, man, I just want to go see Arkansas first, and if it, I don't know, but I think that this is going to be come with a pretty hefty revenue share number and all the things. But these are premium players at premium positions, and I think Texas Tech is willing to gamble there a bit. So now you've got Ojo, you've got Guyton, you've got Hackett. You're still trying with Kavion Bryant. The deal. Okay, so here's the update
Okay.
that I wanted to pass along. There's a young man by the name of Daniel McMorris that, as I'm sitting here talking to you, uh, just about 20 minutes ago, he decommitted from Minnesota, and you're saying, "Well, Level, what are you telling me about this for?" Well, he's an offensive lineman, and he also lives in the state of Oklahoma,
Okay.
and I think he's maybe pals, compadres with Cooper Hackett, and I think there's some suggestion that maybe when the Oregon State game rolls around here, he may be involved in an official visit here, fresh off of his decommitment from Minnesota, and oh by the way, coming in from the state of Oklahoma. I don't know. I'll let you. There's some dots there. I'll let you connect them. But yeah. So it just appears that Texas Tech is remains pretty hot on the recruiting trail. So there you go.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
All right, let's hit some questions all around here. So let's start with this one from Brandel. It says, after week one, what is the most concerning position group? What is the most impressive to you? So most concerning, most impressive position group, if you can judge it.
Most concerning to me is still going to be the running back position. I'm just going to worry about it and it's not about Cam Dickey and it's not about Jacoby Williams. They are extremely talented, but it's the nuances of the position. And like it sucks because I think I mean I legitimately think that you got blitzed 27 of the first 41 plays. Did I say that to you already?
Uh, think
Yeah,
so. Yeah.
okay, yeah, against UAPB, and so you've got a lot of different things coming at you and all those things, and all it takes is just the one little hiccup, and so there's that. I still worry about short yardage scenarios. Um, so that it's Quentin Joyner was the do it all guy. I mean,
Right.
I can do everything you need me to do, man. But like with these other two, they're good at certain things, not good or great at others. And so it's more of a situational type deal. So that's just what I don't know what we're supposed to do here about that being how was this question phrased? Like a disappointing?
Concerning.
Yeah, I don't know what you're supposed to do about it now. It has nothing to do. I think Jacoby and Cam played really well and all those things, but that's a concern. I'm just being honest. And what was the best?
Most
Yeah, I mean,
impressive.
I liked the way you got after the quarterback, and that just looked like it wasn't a fair fight. But yeah, it was fun. Like Romello Height, man. See, I mean, I think he's pretty good.
Yeah,
I
I would say so.
think he's pretty good. Like because watching those big games, like I watched Miami Notre Dame, I watched
Oh yeah.
LSU Clemson, and it's like in some of these games when it's third and nine late in these games, and a team's trying to drive on you or to come back. A pair of ends, man, it can
Just
win the game.
unleash the
It, it,
dogs. I
it
mean,
can it can turn it.
yeah.
And I thought about that when UAPB was in a third and nine. I'm like, okay, passing down. Like, what are you going to do unless you're just going to run a draw play and say, you know what, we give up. Let's just punt. Let me just run it and get my 3 yards, and then let me just punt. But
Hmm.
sure enough, I mean, they dropped back, and you just dropped him. So that's I think that's a pretty easy answer for me. And maybe the bar has been lower than it needed to be around here, but I enjoyed that. So maybe I'm being selfish there with my choice. I just enjoyed it quite a bit.
Okay, so along those same lines, Kevin asks, or you mentioned the running backs. Is Cam Dickey now the lead back, and is there any chance Hill will get some touches with the first team this week?
Yes, if you want to phrase it that way, but it's not really. And no, not on Adam Hill. Here's how I'll explain this. The way this was going to go is Quentin Joyner was going to be the lead back. He was going to head this committee, and then Jacoby Williams was going to be the change of pace back. So you can say that Cam Dickey's going to lead the committee if you want. That's in phrasing only. But
Hmm.
Jacoby Williams is still going to be the change of pace back. I just don't know if you're ever going to be in a scenario to where, unless just out of pure necessity, that you're going to hand the ball to Jacoby Williams your, 25, 30 times. I just think he's always going to be like the curveball, the changeup, the knuckleball like aspect of what you're doing. And Cam Dickey will be
Yeah,
he'll get the bulk because he's bigger, can handle it. But you're missing a component there, in my opinion. I mean, with
sure.
Quentin, just as we've talked about it, but I think you're going to hear them go out of their way to say, "Man, this is 101A," because they're both really good. They're just different, and I don't think you want to like lean into one or the other because they are different. You're going to see them both. It's not like necessarily thunder and lightning. I think Adam is a good for what he is. He's kind of moved into the role that Cam Dickey would have had, is like the extra carries, get out of the game guy, all
Hmm.
these things. And Cam would have been better than that a bit, but you see what Adam is. I mean, he's a big kid, 6'1", 230, and Joey, I think, mentioned earlier this week. He told him, he's like, if you get in there, I want them to feel all 230 pounds. I want to punish them. So Scatterboo, Mike Allstott ish, whatever. But like, yeah, make him hurt. And he's more than happy to do that. But I don't know if we're ready for first team reps or anything. I don't think that's on the docket just yet. That would be Roy Alexander first, if you got to that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. This from the audience as well. This one comes from Sam. Is the Big 12 a bad league, or was it just a bad weekend?
It's not a bad league, but it was a mixed bag over the weekend and probably a bit tilted toward disappointing. And this did I enjoy Auburn beating Baylor in Waco? Yep, I did. I thought if you really want to pick it, like Utah obviously destroyed UCLA.
Yeah, I think you went
Can't
one and as we record this, the North Carolina TCU game hadn't played yet. So, but I
right.
think you went 1-3 against Power Five opponents.
But like the
Four.
biggest issue I have is maybe the Colorado game.
Yeah.
I thought that's not a Georgia Tech winning it. That's a Colorado losing it. I mean, you're +3 in the turnover margin.
Yeah.
How many games are you going to win when you're +3 in the takeaway category? And I thought time management at the end of that game was poor. I don't know that one was because Colorado should have won that game and it was right there and they just couldn't do it. But man, I don't know what statistic Georgia Tech was a part of, but like to be on the wrong side of the turnover thing that wide of a margin and still win probably does not happen much.
Be careful, Level. Coach Prime keeps receipts when you speak poorly of him. So just be careful.
I didn't say
It's
anything about Prime. I just said
it's a joke.
Colorado. Okay, yeah.
It's a
I
joke.
was like, yeah,
All jokes,
yeah.
man. All jokes.
Okay, giddy up.
And then another one. Let's see. This one's from Eric. Do Texas Tech have a kicker problem right now?
No, not yet. And I do think you have legitimate solutions. I don't think this is the same thing as when you have two quarterbacks, you really don't have one. I don't think that's the same thing.
Right.
Um, but I do think it still remains to be seen. My scenario that I tossed out to you there in Salt
Hmm.
Lake. what button you pushing? Is it the red one? Is it the
Yeah.
black one? Is it the white one? Is it the gray one?
Hmm.
What you know, who's running out there? Um, I don't know. I don't know. And so maybe it's not a problem,
Not yet. Yeah,
I guess it's still a question until you have it answered. So
that's fair. I think that's
yeah.
fair. So I left us pretty well zero time to preview Kent State, and that's probably about as much as we need for it. Is this going to be any different than what we saw in week one? Okay, they
This
did
is
snap a losing streak of what,
they
21 straight
did.
games? So,
They'll come in with some feel good, and it won't last long because after they play you, there's a trip to Buffalo, I think next week, and then they've got a trip to Norman, Oklahoma, and a trip to Tallahassee, Florida on the docket
ouch.
there. So that's a hell of a non-conference schedule, man. I mean, like that's some you go to Lubbock, Norman, and Tallahassee. It's like, what are we doing? But they're trying to survive and make money.
Yeah.
They'll play two quarterbacks. They're not going to be very good at all. Yeah, but I don't know what else. Really, they've got an interim head coach.
Yeah.
Do you know what a golden flash is?
I would guess it's some sort of falcon.
You're
Eagle.
close. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, it's. I think Flash is the name of the eagle, and it's kind of
Oh,
like yeah,
okay.
it's a playoff on that. But yeah, they go by. Do you know where it's located?
Ohio?
Yes, where do you know where in Ohio?
I would have guessed Kent, Ohio, but that's not accurate
I
apparently.
tried to get you, but you got it. It
That
was
is it.
obvious. Yeah,
Okay.
Kent, Ohio. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
The only
I
reason
thought
I
you were
know
gonna.
anything about Kent State is because of a video game when I played when I was younger, and my brother always chose them because they had a fast quarterback and ran against me, and it annoyed me. So I was always
Okay,
Tech, and he chose Kent State, and it was annoying. So I have a little extra angst towards the Golden Flashes this week, just for
okay.
towards
I
the
got
brother
you.
mostly. But yeah,
I got you.
that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, hey, keep hope alive, people. We'll see you at the stadium on Saturday. Thank
Yes,
you
sir.
for being a part of this, Woodman. Appreciate you taking care of me as always, my man.
No doubt. Love it. And we'll do it again next week. For Chris Level, I'm Choice Woodman. This has been the Ask Level podcast powered by Double T 97.3.
You've been listening to the Ask Level podcast, powered by Double T 97.3.